Robert here, Flosstube Fridays. It's a little late. We had a storm go through this afternoon, and so I didn't want to film while it was lightning and thundering and all that. So I'm gonna call this year's Maynia, for me, a flop. I know I was ahead by one project, but I'm not even like trying, I guess. I don't know. Next year I will do better. So anyway, let's get into it. So we'll do my whips. So first is I'm gonna do the ones I haven't done anything on. Just get them out of the way. Where'd my pencil go? Oh, I dropped it on the ground. Sorry. Wizard of Oz. Didn't do anything on the Wizard of Oz this week. Didn't do anything on the Fairy Queen this week. Didn't do anything on Sweet Dreams this week. And didn't do anything on The Rainbow Sow by Connie G. So, you may ask yourself, because I certainly am, what did I work on then? If I didn't work on Wizard of Oz, Fairy Queen, Sweet Dreams, or Connie G. Ming Orchids. I finally picked up Ming Orchids and did a little bit, sorry. Have to reach off camera here to get it. Ooh, it's getting stuck in there. So, you guys will recall from my very first Flosstube video, I showcased this. Ooh, look at that glare. It is, well, it is just washing out, isn't it? There we go. Ming Orchids by Carolyn Meacham, Serendipity Designs. So there's Ming. Ooh, wash out again. Ming Orchids. Oh gosh, I can't wait for that one to be done. So I'm working on that. Don't have a whole lot of progress, and didn't really get a whole lot done on it this time, but I worked on it, so that's all that matters, right? So here she is. I got it in this itty bitty teeny weeny Q-snap. So there's the bottom line of I don't know, I guess that's the center, because this one I started at the center. A lot of times I like to start in the top left hand side. This one I started at the center, and so here's the very center of the design, and work this way and then up. So I did a little bit more. I don't have a picture of where I was, but here's where I'm at now. You can actually start seeing the flower develop, so that's really exciting. It's going to be very pretty finished, and you might also remember, hold on, let me get this back in the bag. Where did I, there it is. Losing my mind. So I don't have project bags, so I just use little Ziplocies and then write what the name of the pattern is. So you might remember I put out a call to action in my very first Flosstube video, because there are two Mings. There was Ming Orchids and Ming Peonies, and then there was the Imperial Phoenix and Imperial Dragon. And I put out a call to action because I didn't know if they were still available or not. And where did it go? Nope, not that one. Is it in here? No, it's not. Anyway, whatever. Oh, here it is. So you might remember the lovely subscriber, it's washed out again, sent me Ming peonies, and then she also had a copy of Ming orchids. And she sent both of those to me, and that was Lynn that sent those to me. So thank you so much. So I think that was Lynn. I don't know. So I can't wait to get all of those stitched, both of those Ming orchids and Ming peonies, because they're going to be absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful. Then, so there was Ming orchids. Did a little bit. Gotta cross it off. Oh wait, didn't leave. Oh no, it's in here. So Ming orchids. Talked about. Next one that sat for weeks and weeks and weeks, and I didn't work on it at all. And you guys will remember that. Didn't work on it at all. Was my Ireland sampler. And where's the bag? There it is. So my Ireland sampler sat for weeks and weeks and weeks after I started it. I hated the whole stitching process on it. It was a beautiful pattern, and I just couldn't get myself motivated to stitch it. So here it is. So there's the Ireland sampler. Very pretty design. I love it. It's very kind of retro, and I don't know, I just really like that about it. And this is where I'm at on this one. So I got more of this border. It's completed, like at least the base outline down to here. I just need to fill it in with this darker brown, and then these little spots here need to be filled in with another color, similar to one up here, but you can't tell on camera. I'm filling this one in right now. I got the sheep done, and I think what I'm going to do is add Krynic blending filament to the wool, to their wool, because you can't really see the white on the, oh, what was it? It was oatmeal, light oatmeal, Ada. You can't really see the white wool, but it's got all these. It's got full crosses, then it's got zigzags and straight lines and zigzag straight, well, not zigzag, half stitches, more fulls. This one, the pattern shows just like this, like in the middle, but I didn't like the way it looked, so I'm adding a secondary color. There's going to be more clovers across the top, and then I need to do the water and the I think it's a Loch Ness monster maybe, and then the house will be over here, and so that one's coming along. I got sparked to do it and been having a lot of fun with it. So that's what this whole stitching thing is about. I apologize, I keep going out of camera here. So there's that. Need to mark it off or I will forget I talked about it. Okay, so Ireland sampler. So I did quite a bit on that one. Then Baby Woodland. I got a little bit more on this one. Here it is. So you guys would remember, I bought it as a kit. It's a Dimensions kit I got at Hobby Lobby. Oh, this is just washing out. There we go. So I thought it was just very cute, and it says Baby Woodland, or Woodland Creatures Birth Announcement, or Birth Record. I am not using anything that came with it. So there's still it is washing out. There's still the piece of Ada, which I'll probably use maybe for smalls, like Christmas ornaments. And then I didn't use any of the floss. I'll find a use for those. Probably. I just didn't want to stitch with them. So I went out and bought all my own DMC. Because at the store, I could see all the colors on the back, so I was able to match them up pretty close. So here is what it's looking like. So I got more of the owl done. I got his beak, got his other other wing. Started working on his body down here. Got more of these lines done. I need to go in and start doing the secondary. But the problem is the secondary is the same color as his belly. So I don't want to start on that just yet. I want to get his belly all done and then do a little bit all the way around the owl so I can do the back stitching. I need to put a little bit of green there and then do his eyes. But that's where that is at. Ugh. So there's that. All right. Haul. So, if you follow me on Instagram or are in Stitch Mania, you will have seen my little posts about this. I am super excited. I bought something, so we're on haul now. I don't know if I said that. I think I did. I bought, I tell you, dreaded YouTube nose, Flosstube nose, itchy nose. I bought my very first Mirabilia, and it is August Peridot Fairy. Ah, so excited! Very first. Love it. So today I got it all kitted up and started working on her. That's gonna come later. I'm doing haul first though. So, yep, got my very first Mirabilia. I picked August Peridot Fairy because my birthday is in August 28th. And so I thought it only fitting to choose Miss Peridot Fairy. So there's that. Then I bought a few things on Stash Unload and I'm just waiting for those to come in. Oh, I wanted to do this first. I'm not gonna say her name because I didn't ask, so if she gets back to me and lets me know it's okay, then I'll let you know next week. But a beautiful subscriber who's bought something from my Etsy store also sent me a gift. So she sent me Imperial Phoenix by Carolyn Meacham for Serendipity Designs. So what this means is I now have the complete set because another beautiful subscriber sent me Imperial Dragon. So now I have both Imperial designs and I have both the Ming designs, the Ming orchids and Ming peonies. So there's that. Like I said, I'm not going to say her name until I hear from her. I sent her a message asking. So if it's okay, I'll share that I just about showed. I'll show it next, or share it with you next week. So I kitted, so part of haul, I kitted Mirabilia. The only thing I didn't buy for Mirabilia is the treasures and the beads. I only did DMC floss. I did fabric for it. And I'm not stitching her on, well, we'll get into that. I'm not stitching her on the fabric that I thought I was going to. A piece of fabric spoke to me, so I got that instead. But anyway, so next, because of the beautiful gift, I have kitted up my Imperial, ooh, that's a different one. I've kitted up my Imperial Phoenix with all the DMCs, and my Imperial Dragon with all the DMCs. Why is it not focusing? So, kitted those up with all the called for DMCs. And then for those, I believe the pattern called for, sorry about that, that's probably annoying. 14 count ivory Ada. I opted to do 14 count white Ada, and I just got the DMC Charles Craft tubes of Ada in white. So they're both going to be done on white. So those are fully kitted up, ready for me to start on them. Then I bought this embroidery transfer pen. It's a water-soluble marker. Draw or trace the designs on fabric, then simply stitch over the lines. Blue ink is removable with water. Use a damp cloth or wash in cold water. Which is funny because that's what the front of it says. It's by DMC. So the front says to wash it in cold water. But on the back it clearly states to, see, blue ink is removable in water. Remove all markings before laundering. Oh, never mind. I read it wrong. It says remove all markings before laundering in warm or hot water and before ironing. I misread that earlier when I was by myself, and I thought it said that it could be removed with warm water, and I'm like, well, wait a minute, which is it, warm or is it cold? So it's cold. So I got that so I could do gridding. I hate doing gridding, but actually this made it very pleasant and only took me, I don't know, 20 minutes or something to do. So there's that. Then I bought another cross stitch book or magazine. It is called Cross Stitch Favorites, and this one is their Alphabets issue, which is spring 2017. And I picked it because, as you all know, I'm gonna have a little nephew soon, and there's all these fun, oh, I'm about to show like patterns, my bad. There's all these fun little letters that I'd like to stitch for him. And then there's some that are just cute, like there's ones with flowers. Ooh, this is the one that really spoke to me. It's called Forest Folk. So each letter has a different part of the forest, so it's got like birds on a tree branch and bunny rabbits and a hedgehog. And my sister's theme is woodland creatures, so I think I'm going to do something like that for him, which will be just super fun. So I, like I said, bought it. It's got several different kinds of decorative letters, and it's got different things like things that you could turn into a sampler. So it's got like that. That's kind of like a little sampler with a bunch of different decorations and things. So I just thought that that was cute. So I've been looking at it several times when I've gone to Joann's, and this time they only had 2 copies left. So I figured I'd snatch it up now rather than wait for it to be gone forever. And then I ordered from 123stitch.com, got confirmation today that they shipped it. I ordered a 32 count light blue Lugana linen. I think it's Zweigart. I don't know, I can't remember. If it was Zweigart or if it was I can't say that brand. You know what I'm talking about, the W brand. So I can't remember if it's Zweigart or that other brand. But it's a 32 count light blue Lugana from 123stitch.com. And then here's a little shout out to Miss Organic Granny. I'm going to link her below. I watched her video number 22, which was put up April 28th, 2017. I don't know how I missed that one, but I did. And she was using this device that slips on the finger, and it's got like this long little pin to lay her stitches down. And somebody had asked in the comments, because I was about to ask her what it was and where she got it and all of that, but somebody asked her what it was, and she said it was a trolley needle, basically also called a thread controller. So I went on to 123stitch, and I knew I was going to buy that 32 count Lugana, and figured I'd search and see if they had it, and they did. So I bought one, and it's called the Trolley Needle Thread Controller. I'll link that down as well. So thank you, Organic Granny. You kind of saved me, because I hate railroading. I absolutely hate, can I say it again? Hate railroading. I've been doing railroading now, and I still hate it. I just absolutely hate it. Not fun, not my cup of tea. So hopefully that'll make it easier for me to get nice and even stitches and stuff. So like I said, I will post her down below, and then post the trolley needle thread controller that I ordered. Then on to my new start. It was Miss Thang here, Miss August Peridot Fairy, Mirabilia. So I started her today after I got all the DMC, and then the fabric spoke to me, so went ahead and picked that up. I just went to Joann's, so it's nothing fancy. It's just an Ada, but I think she's gonna look stunning. So I've already started. I got this part done, except I think a treasure or something goes in the middle, right here. So this is the magic wand or whatever, as you can see right here. So I did that part. This called for chocolate linen, I think it was. But excuse me, the light oatmeal Ada kind of spoke to me for some reason. It was like on the shelf over at Joann's when I was picking out the threads. And it's like, buy me, stitch Mirabilia on me. So I don't know, I bought that, and then I used the water-soluble marker to do all my grid lines. So this is the very first project that I have fully gridded, because I hate gridding. I don't like taking the time. I'm too impatient when it comes to that. I'd rather just get started and go with it. So there's that. The fabric, it's the MCG Textiles. I've already checked and it's fine. I haven't had any issues with their Ada or their Even Weave, but I have had issues with their linen, if you all would recall. So I bought a 30 by 36 and cut off the extra. I think I just keep bumping the microphone, sorry. So cut off the extra, and I'll use the extra for like Christmas smalls. I've got a Christmas magazine with different ornaments and things that I would like to stitch. So there's that. I'm excited. Look at that. My very first Mirabilia. Super exciting. Anyway, where did I put my notes? They ran away. Well, shoot. Ah, there. I was lost. So that's the last thing for the new starts. Now, and I can't remember who she said. Yeah, can't remember who she said. It was half stitch, cross stitch. Challenged us because somebody else challenged her, and I can't remember who she said. It's in my comments. It's gonna eat at me when I edit the video. I'll put it in. But anyway, so half stitch, cross stitch challenged us to do the 20 random facts about ourselves. So I'm going to do that. I wrote them down because I've tried to film this video a couple of times. I tried to mix it in with my car vlogs for Tuesday. My phone didn't record anything. I guess I didn't hit the button, and I thought I did, whatever. And then I tried to record it driving home and do the 20 random facts about me as you guys were seeing where I was driving, and it filmed it okay, but I kept getting lost and I couldn't remember where I was. So I figured I'd just lump it in today, and we only have one video this week, so that's okay. But I've written all of my little facts so I keep track. Some of these I can't remember if I've said before. I might have, I don't know. But if you're new to the channel, welcome. Hit that subscribe button. If you like the video, give it a thumbs up. Here is my 20 random facts about me. My favorite color is blue. And for me, it doesn't matter what color of blue. All shades of blue, all hues of blue I like. I have a skin condition called tinea vesicolor. As you can see, the very kind of blotchiness. On the inside of my arms, it tends to be more reddish in hue. And then on the tanner side, it appears to be more white. It's a skin pigmentation issue, and I can use Selsun Blue. It's basically time for another treatment of Selsun Blue shampoo overnight. It's very itchy. I hate it, especially in the summertime when it's hot and stuff. I'm warm-blooded anyway, so in the summertime I get miserable anyway, but then you add this when it gets hot, it gets itchy, and I'm just all sorts of uncomfortable. But that's called tinea vesicolor. I've had it since I was 16, I think. Yeah, 16. 15 or 16. Can't remember. Had it for a long time now. It sucks. I am a Mac or Apple person. I have a MacBook Pro, I don't know, 2010, I think. I have an iPhone that I'm shooting with. I would like to get an iPad, and I would like to get a new MacBook Pro. They're on my wish list. Gotta save up that money, right? But they're well worth it. Like I said, the 2010 is the computer, and it works really well. But I would like to do gaming videos, and I can't do it on that. It's the video card in it is not fast enough to do that. I can play the games, but when I go to like do the screen capture or whatever to video it, it's not fast enough. I can kind of tell the future a little bit. Just a little bit. Can kind of tell the future. And what I mean by that, I don't mean, oh, tomorrow it's gonna be sunny and so-and-so's car is gonna break down. It's not that kind of. It's really weird and random. For example, at work recently, I mean, I say recently, it was like 6 months ago, I had a dream that night that there was a fire at the house I work at, because I work in a group home for adults with disabilities. So I had a dream that there was a fire at the group home, at the house that I work at. Well, I woke up the next day, was getting ready. I think I had a meeting or something to go to. And I'm like, well, that was a strange dream. It was very vivid. I couldn't tell who caused the fire, who was involved, none of that kind of stuff. I couldn't really even tell where it was in the house. I just kept getting images of fire, the house, and that was it in my dream. Well, so I get up and I'm like, well, that was a strange dream. Whatever. I hop in the shower, take my shower. When I get out of the shower, I have a text message from the overnight staff stating that when one of the residents was cooking breakfast, they turned on the wrong burner, and we have burner covers to make it look a little more homey and whatever. Maybe they're dangerous, I guess. But she turned on the burner, turned on the wrong burner, and it was causing the smoke and whatever on the burner cover because she turned on one of the burners and left the cover on because she didn't turn on the one that she was trying to use. And I'm like, are you kidding me? So I called that staff and I said, you're not going to believe this, but I dreamt that this happened, and I told her everything. And she's like, oh my gosh. So there's that. There's been a few other instances throughout my life since I was a kid. So there's that. I love shoes. I'm a shoeaholic. I think I look over that way because my closet's over there. I think I have 10 or 15 pairs maybe, between sandals and flip-flops and sneakers and dress shoes and all sorts of other things. Yeah, probably 10 or 15 pairs. And then I'll get into the other one, but then I'm going to touch back to the shoe thing. So I'm going to get into the other two, and then I'll kind of trace my steps backwards a little bit. So number 6, in case you've lost count, because Lord knows I sure have. That's why I got it written down. I used to be a drag queen. So I'd get dressed up as a female, go out on stage, lip sync to songs, and people would pay me tips, and sometimes I would get a cut of what the bar brought in. Sometimes I had paid gigs where I got paid a certain amount just for showing up and performing. in addition to the tips. But once I started at my current place of employment, that's when I put myself into retirement. So I think I've only brought my drag persona, whose name is Juliana Gotti. I've only brought her out of retirement, I think once, since I put her into retirement almost 3 years ago. Then I'm obsessed with bags. So briefcases, purses, totes, crossbody bags. I'm obsessed. Absolutely obsessed. If I was rich, I'd have like a whole room of bags. Like shelves and shelves and shelves and tables and whatever of bags. I'm not rich, so that doesn't happen. So that brings me back to the shoes. So with the bags, my favorite brand is Louis Vuitton. And then of course I love Hermes and Chanel. So Hermes, Chanel, and Louis Vuitton are my 3 favorites. And then shoes, because I used to be a drag queen, I love high heels, not necessarily to wear, because I don't around the house. But I think that they're an art piece, or can be. So with that, my favorite designer is Christian Louboutin. And if I could, and if I was rich, I'd have a whole collection of his stuff. Currently, my favorite one, and I'm going to link it here, is a shoe called the Explotech Zigzag Leather Pump. So hopefully I didn't butcher the name of that shoe. But I love it. So there's that. And then here's a pair of shoes, because I oftentimes would kind of impersonate Lady Gaga a little bit. And so I bought these shoes specifically for her. So here's a picture of them. And they kind of reminded me of some that were hers. I didn't like dress up exactly like her. I would dress up in my interpretations of her outfits. So then, number 8, I almost dropped out of high school. I didn't. I got my high school diploma and everything. There's a whole story about that, so if you want to see it, click that I if you want to see it, or if you don't, take the poll, tell me yes or no. I dropped out of college, so I was going to a community college, and at the time I was working full-time, I think, but I think I was only making like $8 an hour. I mean, it was like nothing. So I dropped out because I couldn't afford it anymore. And then I haven't gone back because life happened and I got busy and fell into my job that I love and am busy over there. Which brings me into the next thing. I'm a workaholic. I tend to work a lot, think about work a lot. I just, as of yesterday, Thursday, completed 11 days in a row. Now, one of those days was for a meeting, and it was only an hour and a half, maybe, if that. But then you add on to there an hour drive time at a minimum. I think that day was probably about 45 minutes each way. Number 11, I'm a serial starter with all of my crafts. So cross stitch is not the only craft that I do. I do crochet and a few other things. And I'm a serial starter. I get bored with things and have to bounce from project to project to project to project just to keep my interest. Otherwise I lose interest and stop doing it for a little bit. Um, I love to sew. So I've made clothes, I've made bags, I've made some other things. And then my sewing machine crapped out on me and I haven't been able to go buy another one. I would like to get one so I can finish some of my stuff as I'm finishing them, like ornaments and things. But then I'd also like to make things like project bags so I can stop using primarily these Ziploc-y things. So I'd like to get actual like project bags and a sewing machine so I can make those things. I like to garden. In years past we've had it look like a jungle in the summertime, spring and summertime on our patio, but not so much here recently, the last couple of years. But I like to garden. I'm a perfectionist. So with everything, including cross stitch, I'm a detail oriented. Has to be perfect or I'm not happy with it. Same thing with like handbags and things. You know, people have asked me, like my work bag is a Coach leather men's crossbody briefcase thing. People are like, well, you can get stuff like that at Target and Walmart and blah blah blah. Yes, you can. However, I'm a perfectionist, and if I find any flaw with the item, I stop using it. So with my Coach bag, I mean, I looked at the front, I looked at all the seams, I looked at all the stitching, I looked at the stitching on the inside, I looked at the back, and couldn't really find a flaw at all with it, so I bought it and have been using it ever since. And that was 2 years ago. Number 15. I have only ever lived in the Kansas City area, except when I was born. When I was born in Rolla, Missouri, which is a small town, and I think I lived there for maybe a year of my life. I can't remember. I'd have to ask my parents again. And then they moved to Kansas City. And then my sister was born when I was 18 months old in Kansas City. And I've lived in the Kansas City area, both Missouri side and Kansas side, for all of my life. I grew up with cats. When my parents were married and things, we had cats and dogs. We always had, you know, animals. For some reason, here in my adult life, starting I think when I was like 21 maybe, I developed an allergy to cats. But it's not every time and it's not every cat. So, for example, my sister's got a cat. Some days I can go play with the cat, nothing. Other days I'll go play with the cat, my eyes swell up and water and my nose closes and I get itchy hives and I don't know why. Her cat's an indoor cat. So your guess is as good as mine. I have no idea. But that happens with all cats. My stepmom has cats, and same thing with them. Sometimes I'm fine, sometimes poof. I'm a calm person under pressure, or during emergencies, and then after the fact it's like, oh my gosh, you know, this and this could have happened, holy crud. So yeah, I keep calm under pressure and do what needs to be done. I used to be a shopaholic, but not so much anymore. Now a lot of times I find that I am a bargain hunter. I'm almost a cheapskate, so like shoes and clothes and pants and things I typically don't buy full price. I go to thrift stores or secondhand shops and I get all of that stuff, except the unmentionables. Those I only buy new for obvious reasons. Moving on. I love cars. My favorite car brands are Mercedes-Benz and Ferrari. I'd love to own either one or both at some point. Probably won't happen unless I win the lottery or something. And then last but not least, number 20, my work had us do the Myers-Briggs test 2 years ago? A year ago? Year and a half ago? Something like that. I don't know. It was when I took it. And I am an ENFP. I'm going to put a link to a free short version of the test that will tell you, based on your answers, what letter you are. There's 16 different letter combinations, so basically, according to that, I'm drawing a blank. I'm an extrovert, intuitive, feeler, and perceptive, I think, is the P. I can't remember. Like I said, I'll put a link to the test down below. And that is it. That's all I got. So thank you for watching. If you're new here, welcome. If you're returning, thank you for returning. Please consider subscribing if you haven't already, and like the video, share it with your friends, and I will see you all next week for Flosstube Fridays. Happy stitching.